Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright? Now look, this one is gonna be about how the Moors and the GDs almost went to war. You know what I'm saying? She got real in the field real quick. Alright. So first off, like I told you, I always gotta take it to the top. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how this go. So roll with me. Alright. Now, this all started when I first went to prison, of course, which was 2012. You know what I'm saying? When I first got there, I called myself doing my time without doing the gang banging shit. I was calling myself going there, do my time, get up out of there, without mixing and mingling with the gang bangers, right? Well, while I called myself doing that, I'm walking to the child hall one day, right? The child hall is the cafeteria. That's where you go eat it. They call it the child hall because they literally feed you child, like dog food. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on my way to the child hall one day. A group of guys surrounded me. You know what I'm saying? They asked me, was I a gangster? They seen the 6-point star on my neck right here. You know what I'm saying? Little bitty 6-point star. They saw that shit. You know what I'm saying? As small as that damn star is, they saw it. This just go to show you in prison, guys don't got shit to do but watch your every move. You know what I'm saying? So they peeped that 6-point star on me. This is why they walked up on me. So they asked me, was I gangster and all? I'm like, yeah, y'all know that by now. Y'all see the damn tattoo, They like, well, whenever you ready to come home, we got open arms for you, blah, 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 right? I'm like, all right. I ain't fuck with it for like maybe a month or two. And then I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and come home. I don't got nothing else to do. I'm in here doing time anyway. I might as well. They never showed no bad signs or none of that. So I was like, you know what? All right, let me go ahead and rock with the home team. Because I was on crash out time, baby, and I was a YN. So I was like, all right, fuck you. Let me go ahead and come home. So I went home. Now I'm rotating with the GDs in prison, right? Well, while I'm doing that, when you rotating, you get orders, you know what I'm saying, to go take care of shit. So I had a couple of orders, I took care of it. That shit bumped my ranking up so quickly. I became a second on the yard instantly. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that was there at Adrian Correctional Facility around 2012, 2013, y'all know who I am. I'm Little G. I was the second on the yard of the GDs. You know what I'm saying? It was a good 100 of us. So it wasn't like it was 3 or 4 of us and I just became a second. Like, nah, it was a lot of us. I was just one of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, with that being said, when you become a high rank like that, when you earn your spot in the first 3 positions, you don't got to do shit no more. You giving other people orders. You know what I'm saying? So like everybody up under y'all is like the foot soldiers. You know what I'm saying? You giving the foot soldiers orders to run around and do shit. I also told y'all we had the Crips and the BOAs under our wing too. BOAs, the Brothers of Arms. They a branch of the GDs. They was a crew of white guys that was on crash out time, and they was about that motherfucking life. You feel me? But that's how we was all coming. So basically, if it was something that needed to be done, I could put an order out. You know what I'm saying? I could put an order out to the other GDs. I could put an order out to the Crips. I could put an order out to the BOAs. However I wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, as you know, I was locked in like that. So I was good. Couple more months go down the line, I get my bunkie put in my cell. I mean, damn, I might not word that right, but my man's D Rose. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all about D Rose. I told y'all about my crew that I had inside of my gang while I was in prison. I had a crew inside of it. Like it was like 5 or 6 of us. You know what I'm saying? All young guys. We all was ready to go home. We was always building every day. We just rocked together. You know what I'm saying? So we all came together like that. And with us being together, it was like leading on to their other homies to like join a crew. That's how it ended up becoming. It might have been like 6 or 7 of us. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk, no more than 8, but it was about 6 or 7 of us. It was 5 of us main guys, and then we had a couple of guys behind us. You know what I'm saying? Like our wingman type shit. So in total, it might have been 7 to 8 of us. I'm gonna just say something like that. It might have been 7 to 8 of us total. You know what I'm saying? But the main guys inside our crew, it was just 5 of us, right? All right. Now, okay. Matter of fact, let me bag it up because y'all know I like to keep everything real. It was 5 of us in our main crew, and then we had 3 on the outside of us, so it was 8 of us. You had Doc, Nard, and Billy. Them was our 3 wingmen outside of our crew. So it was a total of 8 of us. You know what I'm saying? Now, inside of my crew, we had me, Chuck, Tino, D-Rose, and Tay. That was the 5 of us main guys. And then, like I said, the 3 guys outside of us was Billy, Doc, and Nard. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, with that being said, with my crew, we had guys under the 5 and guys under the 6 inside of my crew. You know what I'm saying? Tay was a Mo. He was a Moor, a Mobite. You know what I'm saying? Tay was a youngin' just like us, but he was studying the Moorish literature. He liked what they was preaching and things like that, so he joined them type shit. Before I even met him, he was already a Mobite. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, like I said, we all youngins. We all want to go home. We all mixing and mingling together. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of time we was on. So we put all that gang banging, 5 and 6 type shit to the side, you know what I'm saying, for our inside crew. Now, outside of our crew, niggas was on that 5 and 6 shit, you know what I'm saying? But inside our crew, we had 5s and 6s together. It just be like that, right? So anyway, D-Rose and Tay. Tino, he was a blood too, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't really on all of that like that, you know. But he was a blood. But we talking about Tay and D-Rose, right? Okay. So D-Rose, I ended up getting him moved into my cell. He was in another cell with a guy he didn't like. And at that time, I didn't really fuck with my bunkie either. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you got a situation like that, you can go to the police desk and say, hey, you know, can you move Johnson out of the cell A33? Can you move him out of there and move him into my cell? Me and him, we get along. You know what I'm saying? The cops will talk to Johnson in cell A33, and they be like, hey, is you cool with going in cell B22 with Jones? You know what I'm saying? And then Johnson be like, yeah, that's my man's, we good people, blah, blah, blah. The police, they'll do that. You know what I'm saying? To keep the commotion down and shit like that. So if both guys is in agreement to, you know, locking in the same cell, the police will rearrange that and put y'all in the cell together type shit. So that's how D-Rose came to my cell. We had made the agreement. They swapped us out. You know what I'm saying? Well, they swapped him out with my old bunkie. You know what I'm saying? All right, now D-Rose in my cell. So me and D-Rose, we jailing, you know what I'm saying? We already inside of our own crew. Now we in the cell together. So we good, you know, commissary through the roof. We cooking up every day. You know what I'm saying? We got our crew that fuck with us. We good. I got my gang outside of it. You know, we doing good, right? Well, in the mix of that, like I said, Tay, he was a Mobite. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, Tay used to be trying to push that Mobite shit on everybody in the crew. You know what I'm saying? But he knew not to push that on me because he knew I was under the 6. He knew I wasn't going for that, you know. But he was pushing that shit on the other guys. You know what I'm saying? D-Rose ended up liking it. So D-Rose was studying it with Tay and shit like that, right? Well, with that being said, Tay brought D-Rose into the Moorish family, right? At this time, D-Rose is not a full-blown Moor or nothing like that. He's just studying. But the way how they operate in prison is once you start studying their literature, you labeled as one of them. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So now you got D-Rose studying the Moorish with Tay, right? All right. So now D Rose really feeling himself, because D Rose was a blood in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So it only made sense for him to be under the 5. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the Moors, they under the 5. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to prison, if you under the 5, you basically study the literature that's under the 5, which is the Moors or the Nation of Islam. Both of them, they under the 5. So if you a gangbanger on the street, you under the 5, and you go to prison and you want to change your life, that's what you do. You become a Moorish or you become a Nation of Islam. If you under the 6 and you go to prison and you want to change your life, you studied Melanics or the Sunni Muslims. They under the 6. You know what I'm saying? So whether if you under the 5 or under the 6, it's religious gains in there that's for what you under. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the Mobites and the Melanics, they was ex-gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? The Melanics was like ex-GDs and ex-Crips. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't gangbang no more. I don't know how they did it, but somehow, some way, in the prison church system, they was able to get their religions approved in the prison system. So the Melanics and the Mobites, they prison religion is accepted in prison. So, you know, the guards, everybody know about this. Like, they real life prison religions. The Moors under the 5, the Melanics under the 6. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now y'all got all that, right? Well, it was a new guy that rode in. Like I told y'all, new people ride in all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it was a new guy that rode in. He was under the 6. He was a GD. He was one of us. You know what I'm saying? So he came home to us instantly, right? A lot of guys on the yard already knew him because they did time with him at different prisons and shit like that, you know. So they knew who Dog was. So they was telling me who he was. They were like, yeah, Dog a shooter. You know what I'm saying? He get to it. He don't play that, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what's up. You know, whatever. So Dog was rotating with us and all of that shit, right? Now, at the same time, me and D Rose, we was working in the kitchen at that time. You know what I'm saying? Me and him, we work in the child hall. We work on the line. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you working on the line, basically it's about 3 or 4 inmates that work on the line, right? And basically it's all the food set up. You know what I'm saying? And you just like go in there, scoop it, throw it on the tray. Kind of like, you know, back in high school and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Scoop the food, boom, throw it on the tray, slide it down to the next inmate. The next inmate, the section he had where, you know, he got to scoop the shit at, he scoop it, boom, throw it on the tray, slide it down to the next. By the time he get to the end of the line, the last inmate that's controlling the plate, he just sit the plate up on the tray, slide it to you. You grab the tray, you walk to a table, sit down and go eat. You know what I'm saying? That's how I go in there. Well, with that being said, me and D Rose, we on the line one night, right? This was dinner time. So we on the line and shit while we working. And man, that's a chopper. They got that motherfucking chopper around here. They looking for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to it, right? So with that being said, like I said, it was dinner time at this time, right? The GD nigga I said that just rolled in, the hothead. I don't remember Dog's name, you know what I'm saying? He was just hothead, so I'm just call him hothead, you know. They came through the line. All the GDs, they all came together in a line. That's how gangbanging work in prison. You know what I'm saying? Everybody come together type shit, you know, to let everybody know, hey, them the Bloods, them the Vice Lords, them the GDs, them the Crips, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. So when the G's came through, hothead was the last in line, right? So everybody grabbed their trays. Now it's hothead turn. You know what I'm saying? D Rose had scooped his food, threw it on the tray. Now, this the thing about working in the kitchen. You think it's simple and easy. You just scoop the food and throw it on the tray, slide it down, easy job. No, it's one of the most dangerous things you could do in prison. I swear to God it is, because you got guys in there that's doing life and got a bunch of time and shit like that, and they feel entitled to 2 scoops. You know what I'm saying? When The prison rules is 1 scoop. A lot of guys feel like that ain't enough for them. You know what I'm saying? So they want 2 scoops. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get them 2 scoops, they gonna get on your ass. By the time you get off work, they ready to stab you. You know what I'm saying? Because now they looking at you as the police. You know, so it's either one or the other. It's either get fired by giving these niggas 2 scoops, or don't give them 2 scoops. And by the time you get off the yard, your ass gonna get poked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is like life or death with that kitchen job. You know what I'm saying? Well, with that being said, like I said, High Head came through the line. He wanted 2 scoops, right? D Rose wasn't feeling it because they always have a food service worker at the top of the line, and then they have one at the end of the line. You know what I'm saying? To watch you, doing the scoops, make sure you giving the proper portion and shit like that, right? D Rose trying to tell dog like, hey man, I can't do that. High Head like, man, I don't give a fuck what are you talking about? Scoop that shit, woo woo. So D Rose and High Head get into it. You know what I'm saying? They get into it right in the middle of this line. You know what I'm saying? Scooping shit on the damn tray. Sent this tray down there. Boom. He took his tray. He like, nigga, I got you. I'm going to deal with you when you get off. Blah, blah, blah. All that type of time, right? I ain't going to lie. D Rose was scared. You know what I'm saying? Because he already knew what was up. But he knew I was under the 6. You know what I'm saying? So he knew, that was my group of guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling D Rose, I'm like, bro, chill out. What the fuck wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? He like, man, nigga trying to make me lose my job. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, dog, do you hear yourself, nigga? We in prison, nigga. This shit don't mean nothing. Like, nigga, you got to remember, you got to hit the yard with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And if this nigga decide to poke you up, then what? So we talked about all that. D Rose was scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, nigga, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk to the guys. We going to be good, He like, all right. Well, the end of the night came for us to get off, and go back to our units. Well, when you come out the child hall, to go back to the yard, it's a big ass gate right there that separate the front yard and the child hall. The child hall and the back 40. You got the child hall, the back 40, and it's a gate that split that. You know what I'm saying? From the front yard where all the units at to the backyard and the child hall, it's a big ass gate that separate that shit, right? So after a certain time, they closed that gate, meaning you can't go to the back 40 no more. Now all of y'all just got to stay on the front yard until they close the unit down, type shit, So when we come to walk through that gate, it's about 20 niggas standing there on the other side of the gate, waiting on us to come through there. You know what I'm saying? It was the GDs. You know what I'm saying? When we seen him, man, D Rose lost his mind. He thought them niggas was about to kill his ass. I'm like, look, chill out. You know what I'm saying? I got this, So we went through the gate, right? We went through the gate. The guys ran up. Hot Head was on it. He was ready to get D Rose. I'm like, nigga, bag up. Chill out. That's my mans. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, fuck that. Dog talking that shit. Woo, woo, woo. Whole time, D Rose behind me. He was scared. Like, swear to God, all the other G's was standing around because it was like GD on GD at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, all y'all niggas dispersed. Mind you, like I said, I was the second on the yard. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to call shit like, hey, y'all niggas get the fuck on. I said, I got this. You know what I'm saying? So it was on that type of time. All the GDs, they started walking away and shit, I'm telling High Head, I'm like, look, nigga, this my mans. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, he didn't know you. Wooty woo, wooty woo. I'm going to get with you later. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, I need to spin with you right now. I'm like, all right, spinning laps. That means walking around the yard with somebody and talking to him, building with him, blah, 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 blah. So he like, I need to spin with you now. I'm like, all right, hold on. I tell D Rose, I'm like, look, go ahead, go to the unit. I'm going to take care of this shit. He like, all right. He walked off. He was scared as hell. You know what I'm saying? Making that walk back to the unit. He was scared. But he got there, went in the unit. So me and High Head, we spinning laps. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling him, I'm like, look, nigga, you ready to go to war over a scoop of rice. You know what I'm saying? What type of time you on, So we spent maybe like 10, 15 laps talking about this shit. He was like, you know what? You right, bro. All right, woo, woo. So we settled it. You know what I'm saying? We went back to the G's, said the same shit. We squashed all that out. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. Now, the unit locked down. I go in the cell with D Rose. I told him, I'm like, nigga, look, you almost got killed. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas was ready to get you. And this is what I was telling you in the child hall before we got off. Like, you can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, if they wanted an extra scoop that shit. Fuck it. Get fired. Because guess what? They going home. Them food service workers, they going home. Them cops on duty, they go home. These inmates in here, they not going home, bro. And guess what? You got to return to the unit with them. So don't change your life for these food service workers that don't care about you. Yeah, they laugh and joke with you while they here. But nigga, as soon as that clock punch out, they go home. They go back to reality. They don't give a fuck about you. Your ass gonna be in here getting stabbed the fuck up, and they gonna be at home, kick back, laughing, eating popcorn, and watching movies with their wife. You know what I'm saying? So we talked about that the whole night. He was like, "You right, bro." Woo, woo. We squashed that out, right? Next morning come, we go to work and shit. You know what I'm saying? When we went to work, by the time we got off, hold up, my eyes. I told you I'd be using this lotion and shit. You know, maybe I need to stop using that shit because it irritates my eyes. But I love I'm about to say the ocean. I love the lotion. You know what I'm saying? All right. So look, while we go to work, Tay come through the line. You know what I'm saying? The Mobite, like I said, the guy part of our crew. He was in 1 block. We was in 2 block. Me and D Rose, we in 2 block. Tay in 1 block. You know what I'm saying? So we only see Tay during the child hall and when they open yard. When we in the units, we don't see Tay because he in the other unit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Tay came through the line. He like, bro, what the fuck going on? Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, man, you know, D Rose on some bullshit. Whoop, whoop, you know. I'm like, hey, you know, holler at your people. You feel me? He like, yeah, I got it, blah, 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 right? So after all of that, D Rose went back to the Mobites because most of the Mobites was in 1 block with him. You know what I'm saying? Which also was another reason why he ended up joining them because he around them all day. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So he went back to his unit and he talked to them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they talked about, you know. By the time they blew yard, right? Them niggas ran up on us type shit. You know what I'm saying? They ran up on us. Now, I did a live about this, so I gave y'all the whole extended version of it on the live. So if you want the whole extended version of you know, this video right here, go check out the live. I'm just giving you the shortened up version of it, you know. So by the time we hit the yard, niggas was on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Mobiles ran right up on us. We like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's us, the 6. GDs, Crips, BOAs. We all together. You know what I'm saying? The Mobites, they all ran up on us. Like, the Mobites is like the strongest gang in prison, honestly. Like, it's so many of them. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they ran up on us. They didn't have to have the Bloods, the Vice Lords, none of them. It was just the Moes ran up on us. And they ran up on us for D Rose. You know what I'm saying? They like, yeah, you know, we got word that y'all ran up on D Rose last night. Woo, woo, type shit. Now, like I said, in prison, everything is real fast. You got to be fast with shit. So it ain't all that standing around arguing, cussing, and fighting like the police gonna run up. So you got to do everything quickly, you know. So the Mobile said what they said and shit. We went in lockdown. You know what I'm saying? They like, all right, you know, at the lockdown, we getting it on. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I done already squashed you with the 6. I done told Tay to squash you with the 5. But they wasn't trying to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they like, all right, by the next time y'all blow, we on y'all. So we like, all right, cool. You know, the Crips, the BOAs, and the G's. Everybody ready. You know what I'm saying? Everybody suited up. Everybody got their gun on them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ready to go type shit. I'm like, dog, everybody about to crash out over a scoop of rice. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. It's time to go to work again. You know what I'm saying? The child hall, you got to go to work every time yard close. Because when yard closed, that means it's time to serve the next meal. You know what I'm saying? And I work in the kitchen. So when they close the yard down, they send the kitchen workers to the child hall so they can set up and get ready. By the time they reopen the unit, it's time to go to the next child. Well, while I'm in there on the line, Tay came through again. I'm like, look, your man's in them on there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, yard break. It's on. He like, man, I'm going to talk to him, woody whoop. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, hey, everybody strapped up. You feel me? Well, after everybody ate, they opened yard again. What happened? The moles ran up on us again. But this time, like I said, it's a catwalk. You know what I'm saying? We was on one side of the catwalk, they was on the other side, just like how it was with us and the Serenos. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, the Moles was on one side of the catwalk, the GDs, and all of us, the BOAs, the Crips, all of us on the other side of the catwalk. Before niggas could even take off, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, man, y'all niggas on some bullshit. You feel me? Tay ended up walking up. Me and Tay got to talking. We like, look, man, we got to squash this shit. Because niggas gonna get killed out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody had them bangers on them. Everybody was ready to go. Like, no lie. You know what I'm saying? And all this shit was over a fucking scoop of rice. You know what I'm saying? Or a scoop of mashed potatoes. Whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? It was just over an extra scoop. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like D-Rose didn't give him this scoop at all. Like, dog wanted the extra scoop. You know what I'm saying? So just go to show you that quick how things can change that motherfucking quick. Like you can go from just wanting a scoop of rice to getting stabbed up just that fucking quick. You know what I'm saying? Well, me and Tay, we had to talk about it. We like, look, man, I told Tay, I'm like, look, talk to your side. I'm going to talk to my side. We got to end this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, niggas about to get stabbed. Everybody about to go to the hole. You know what I'm saying? We going to get sent to new prisons. Everybody going to get broken up. And all of this shit going to be over a damn scoop of food. You know what I'm saying? So Tay went to his side. He talked to the Moles. I was on my side. I'm talking to the six. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, man, fuck what y'all talking about. Now, mind you, I'm not the first. I'm the second, though. But I can call shots just like the first. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the first got to approve it type shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is JB, I went straight to JB. I'm like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? Little do you know, everybody about to crash out over a scoop of rice. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, this shit not worth it. It ain't about nothing. Like, it ain't no real beef. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't know each other for real or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of time niggas on? You know what I'm saying? He like, man, you know what? You right, bro. Whoopty whoop. You know what I'm saying? We got high head in the mix. He was like, yeah, bro spent with me last night. He said some real shit. But he like, the Moles still on it, So if they on it, we on it. I turn around, I look at Tay on the other side of the catwalk with the Moles. He like gave me that nod, like we good. You know what I'm saying? So I stepped back out on the catwalk. Tay step on the catwalk. We shook hands and shit. You know what I'm saying? We like, hey, everything good. Whoopty whoop. After all of that, I looked at the Moles. I'm like, what's up? We straight or what? You know what I'm saying? They like, yeah, we good. So I basically called the G's in, like, hey, come on. We all came together. Everybody shook hands. You know what I'm saying? We was all good and shit. Everybody dispersed and went on about their business. The lesson behind all of this is that sometimes it could be something this small that could turn into something this big. You know what I'm saying? And that shit can get you killed. A lot of guys get killed every day for the smallest shit. You know what I'm saying? And it all stemmed from a miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? So my advice here is that you don't always got to go out the deep end and crash out on everything, because you could really ruin your life for something that's this fucking small. So sometimes just go ahead and talk it out. You know what I'm saying? Get an understanding of what the fuck just happened or what's going on. Because if you could just get an understanding with somebody, it could save a lot of lives, a lot of time, a lot of trouble, a lot. It could save a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Just by being cordial and stepping up and being a man and saying, hey, I was wrong. Or, hey, that was wrong. It could change the whole total dynamics of whatever the situation is. You know what I'm saying? So don't always think that you just got to go there because you a real one and you ain't gonna let nobody do nothing to you. Most of the time, you stupid. Tough guys finish last. Smart guys, they handle that shit by being smart. It's been another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink.